Because we are going in with game number 4 right here, right now. Max and Lix, best of 5 continuation. It's 2-1 to Lix, putting this at match point. Great play from Lix so far. Liked his style, liked his aggression. And I think we're going to see more of that right here, because Lix is certainly looking to get aggressive with Magyars as his civ pick, up to the north of the map in the red. Down to the south in the blue, it is TheMax. He's playing as the Burmese. And let's remind ourselves of that Burmese tech tree. They get free lumber camp upgrades. They get infantry plus 1 attack per age. And their monastery techs are 50% less. Interesting civ. The real strength of this civ lays on a map like Arena, where they can use their unique unit, the Arambai, much more easily, since they can get a castle out early. If they can get a castle out and get the Arambai out anyway, that would still be a great goal to go for Max. The free lumber camp upgrades are certainly very beneficial over the course of the game. The monastery techs being cheaper make them one of the best monk civs in the game, plus the fact that they can see all of the relic starting positions through the fog of war. And in fact, I want to highlight something here. The way that the Wololo Kingdoms implements this bonus is better than the way the HD version does it. The Wololo Kingdoms version shows you where the relic is, and then your vision of that area is removed. Whereas in the actual HD version, even after the relic has been taken, the vision of the relic is still there, and it's all visible. You can see that all the way through the game, which can actually, there's basically 5 spots around the map which are all visible for the entire game length if you're playing as the Burmese on HD. And that's a real problem, because that could actually give away your enemy's strategy. It could tell you if they're mining some gold, if the relic spawns close to a gold or a stone mine. Whereas the way the Wololo Kingdoms has implemented it is perfect. You see the relic, but you don't see through the fog. And that is fantastic. So we're expecting Lix to play aggressively, because obviously Magyars, for those of you that are maybe a little rusty with the Magyars, they get cheaper scouts. And they get the free blacksmith attack upgrades, forging, iron casting, and blast furnace when they build a blacksmith, and once they get to the correct age. So they do work very well as a very aggressive civ. We will check the tech tree just so you can see here. Villagers kill wolves with 1 strike is a really strange bonus, one that doesn't really come into play much, but I'm sure we'll see it in action at some point. And then, as I say, the scout cavalry, light cavalry, hussar, 15% less. It's certainly nice for a scout rush, and this is Arabia after all, so scout rush might be on the cards. Of course, Max does get his infantry attack bonus per age, which means that he could get some +1 attack spearmen out to defend from that Magyar scout rush. So Burmese could work quite well in defense to the scouts if Lix goes for fast scouts. They could also get some early aggression of their own by using the +1 attack per age to go man-at-arms and beat the scout player to the punch with getting the first units out on the map. But we will have to wait and see what Max goes for. Certainly not going to be a drush, because there's only 3 villagers on the wood right now. But the men-at-arms play could certainly be on the cards for Max. We can also see he's walling off the back of his base, and maybe learning his lesson from last game, or being a little bit more aware from last game, as to walling his base off nice and early, securing his resources, and making sure Lix cannot be too much of a nuisance and surround him. Oh, they actually get the upgrades without the blacksmith now. Is that something new with the Wololo Kingdoms? Because I'm 100% that you have to build the blacksmith in HD edition. Is that a change between HD and Wololo, that they get the attack for free, or is that a change that happened recently that I'm unaware of or have forgotten about? Because I'm not sure about that. Obviously, yes, Magyar cavalry archers are fantastic as well. Okay, it was the recent balance patch. Okay. Yeah, that was, okay, 5.5. You're correct. That was the one that they buffed the Magyars in a few ways, actually, didn't they? I can't remember what else. Oh, yeah, they increased the value of their unique tech. If we look at the Magyar unique tech, recurve bow gives them range and attack now. which was also another buff that the Magius received. So yeah, I didn't realize that it was the blacksmith removal as well on that buff. But that's cool to know. Thank you for letting me know, chat. I will try and remember that. But that certainly buffs the Magius, and we can already see Licks going up to the Feudal Age very quickly. And we can see them preparing to make their stable. Also walling off the left side of his base. Licks has got a nice map this game. I want to acknowledge that real quick as well. Very easy wall on the left side. Very easy wall across the center with these military production buildings. And Max, meanwhile, you know, he's got a bit of a hefty wall to build, but he will build that wall. One way or another, he'll get it up. Splitting his lumber now as well. And, you know, Max, once he hits Feudal, will get Bitaxe for free. He already has a lot on wood. I wonder if he anticipates how much wood he's going to get at this rate. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. So, Max, let's see. Barracks is up. What's it going to be next? What's his game plan here? We've got a stable coming up. Hopefully some spearmen coming out. Yes, we will see spearmen immediately. As we already see that stable down for Licks right now. And the first scout's being queued. Licks here going for the full classic scout rush strat. And he is... Did he take his deer? Yeah, he took... I think he took 3 of his deer. So he's in a good position actually here. But right now he's actually sending the scouts backwards. What's going on? Is he going to play defensively with these guys? That's interesting. As Max already has a couple of spears, it's going to be very difficult to do damage. Plus the fact he's closed off the right side of his base. Looking at Lix's fog of war. He doesn't see the walls, but maybe he's a little bit cautious of that +1 attack on those spearmen. And it looks like he himself wants to wall up as well, walling across the front now with this with these palisades, using his scout cavalry to just continue scouting and defend. Interesting. Very interesting. It's strange to me that he's gone for this fast feudal into scouts and then he's just using them defensively to wall. Fascinating. Max may want to send some spears forward with his own scouts, as scouts are on the cards for both players right here. You can see Licks does have the extra +1, which means that that upgrade has indeed been done for free. And we'll see if Licks is able to take a good fight here, and I don't see why not. He's going to have an additional 2 scouts on the field. He's got Max at the upgrade disadvantage, and he's going to go for the fight if he can take it. Clipping through the building, that's quite funny. Yeah, Licks can't really get too many pot shots off. One shot, one hit will be all he can achieve. And there you go. Is Max's lake walled? Yes, it is. It is walled at the back completely. It's also walled all over. So both players... I mean, this is interesting that both players so far, this best of 5, all 3 games we've seen so far, we've seen very aggressive games from both players. Only one game we saw stone walls from Max, but Licks did not reciprocate with his own walls. This time around, early feudal age, both players are fully walled. And it looks like they are digging their trenches and setting themselves up for some mid-game aggression. Neither player wanting to get caught out here. Neither player wanted to get caught with their pants down, out of position, and surprised by a raiding party. But yeah, Max at the moment, just backing away. And this is also an interesting thing as well, that both civs get the +1 attack on their spears for free, essentially. So, I mean, obviously, Lix's bonus is stronger because he gets it on his scouts, whereas Max only gets it on his infantry. But that does put Lix's feudal age army at an advantage, and I think Max is aware of that, which is one of the primary reasons he's walled up like this. Lix is trying to find a way through these walls, but it's not happening. I wonder if we're going to see Bloodlines coming in for either of these players soon. I mean, Bloodlines is justified if you have 5 or 6 scouts. Lix currently has 4. Max has 5. Now 4 as he gets surrounded on the right side. This is quite back and forth. Both players killing 3, losing 3. As they build up their economies and look for the castle age. I mean, neither player really committing too much to this feudal age here. Neither player going all in. And I think they both recognize that they're both gone for the wall off, and the best thing to do now is transition to the Castle Age. And it looks like Lix will be there a little faster. I think Lix is going to have the click up first. After this villager, he'll garrison, and there you go, click up. Max actually having to sell some stone to click up to the Castle Age there. I don't know if you saw that. Max selling 100 stone just to get the gold boost he needed. Both on 35 villagers right now. Both very, very close together in score. This is going to be a real duke out of these civs. I'm surprised to see Max going so heavily onto the gold, but not getting stone here. This is interesting to me. I really thought that Max might go for the Arambai. And what do the Burmese have versus Cav Archers? They have the Arambai Trouser Banana. I think the Arambai is one of the best units in the game right now. And if Max can get them out, I think that would be huge. What is he doing? Max! What are you doing, Max? Okay, never mind. Oh, no. There you go. Lix is going to turn around and you're going to get 2 dead villagers out here. What? Just... You can't explain that. That just does not make sense. That is such a rookie mistake. To send 2 villagers out to the middle of the map, undefended, when you know that your opponent is roaming with scouts. What was he thinking there? Genuinely curious what he was thinking there. Lix paying dividends, getting his scouts actually, using them for some good here. Yeah, I can't believe that. Arambai will die to Cav Archers in the late game. Yeah, I think the Cav Archers from Lix in the late game will be stronger. Yeah, I think in the Castle Age maybe the Arambai has the edge, right? But the problem is the Arambai need a castle, and the Arambai take longer to train from 1 castle compared to 3 ranges that we can see Lix producing his cavalry archers from now. And this is a treat to see. I mean, I do love to see cavalry archers in play, and normally you only see them with the Huns. But Lix, cavalry archers in the Castle Age as a civ that isn't the Huns? Are we tripping? Are we going crazy? I think in the Castle Age, the Arambai would be okay, but like I say, I think that the problem is that they're outnumbered, and they'd have to fight in equal numbers to be able to take a good fight. I think. I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I haven't seen that matchup before. I'd be interested to find out. Perhaps after this game, if Lix does win this game, we can go into the scenario editor and do some little testing to see how the Castle Age Cavalry Archer compares to the Castle Age Arambai. I think the Imperial Age, the Cavalry Archer from the Magyar, would certainly win that fight. But the Castle Age is a question mark for me. On the right side, Max is up to no good. Siege Monks over here. As the Cavalry Archer now roam around the map looking for some damage. Max going into Knights and has +2 defense on the way in, as well as Bloodlines. So he can maybe take the fight here. But I don't think either player has Husbandry, so it's going to be difficult for Max to catch up to Lix at the moment. Lix happy to use his scouts as tanks in the front line, while his Cavalry Archers sit on the hill at the back doing chip damage. Right now, though, they are not at critical mass, so he does have to back away. Like I say, Max doesn't have Husbandry, I don't think, so he cannot chase them down. He is up to no good in the north, though. Like I say, he's grabbing some monks up here. He's making some mangonels. And if he can get a good number of mangonels out, maybe he can deal with the Cavalry Archers as well. Well, Cavalry Archers definitely do have better accuracy than Arambai, you're right. With Micro, the Cavalry Archer maybe would come ahead. In raw firepower, in raw like sort of pound for pound fighting potential, I don't know though. Obviously the Arambai are very inaccurate, but at closer range, at in greater numbers, that inaccuracy is negated a little more. But Max, at the moment, just focusing on Knight production, and I'm a little concerned because he is on 1 stable, and obviously Lix is on 3 archery ranges, and that critical mass of Cavalry Archers, it is approaching. Once he gets to maybe 15, 20, he can start really laying into those Knights. Of course, the mangonels from Max are the big deal breaker here. Like I say, a couple of them, 3 or 4 of them, they can take down the cavalry archers very nicely with one shot. Obviously, the Mangonel cannot kill a cavalry archer on its own. But at this stage, he's got 2, so it's okay. But even uphill, I wonder if they'd be able to pull it off. I don't know if they would. I asked T90 if you wanted to co-cast today, but it was kind of short notice. But I think we're going to co-cast together in the future. We plan to do some streaming together for future King of the Desert games. That's what I'm looking for. Games, matches, sets, whatever. Breaking through the top side now. Going to be coming in around the back. Lix's TC could be a target, but not if he can do something about that. Mangonel's going in. The monks being the focus here. Interesting. Max, can he get some conversions? I don't think so. The knights from Lix coming in as well. Nicely done, but oh, huge shots from the Mangonels. Getting some great kills on the cavalry archers. 2 of the Mangonels will go down. A number of the monks as well. I didn't hear any conversions popping off, but he'll even clean up the 3rd Mangonel with the final conversion coming through. Did that work out better for Max? Did that work out better for Lix? It's hard to say. And it's hard to say because the cost of the Mangonels and the monks are so high that even though the KDs are roughly even, I think Lix may have had the better trade. I would say so, in fact. But hey, Max is doubling down. He's putting up a 2nd siege workshop here at home. 2nd TC is up. He's not neglecting his economy entirely. 3rd TC is on the way. Lix has got 3 TCs running already. A lot more cavalry archers on the way out as well. But these, yeah, these Mangonels are a real threat. And I think in total, Max got 2 conversions. I think he converted 1 cavalry archer and 1 knight. Probably not the best trade for Max. It's hard to say, though. He's coming in now, looking to force the aggression. Poor villager didn't stand a chance. Poor villagers didn't stand a chance. He's going to go for the TC perhaps next. As Lix prepares some pikemen. And looks for a bit of a counter-attack with his cavalry archers now. Looking for revenge. Looking to avenge the deaths of his 2 villagers there. And it looks like he might avenge them. Or maybe not. Maybe he'll just end up tanking a couple of Mangonel shots instead. Lix needs to wake up. Smell the coffee, Lix. There is a Mangonel shooting at your cavalry archers. They have now lost a significant amount of health. As Max is pushing in at the back of the map. Man, this one is hard to call. Lix is struggling to field an army that can deal with the monks, Mangonels, and knights. It's a strong, potent combination. But he still has the score lead, which is, I think, a little misleading right now. Interestingly, Max going for redemption. Is he expecting to see some siege from Lix? Lix is bringing out 1 Mangonel. If he can get the conversion, that'll be beautiful. But right now, look at that. Look at that. 5 Mangonels. Huge investment from Max into this aggression here. 5 Mangonels is a scary number. It's going to be really difficult for Lix to engage that. He's going to try. He's coming here with his cavalry archers on the hill. He's got his Mangonel ready in position. But it's 1 Mangonel versus 5. Oh! Talk about value, though. Lix with a great shot there. Max, of course, not having Sanctity, meaning that he lost both of his monks. But these Mangonels are still doing great damage at the back. Those cavalry archers, you just can't out-micro that. You cannot escape the Mangonels here. And Max is really just putting his foot down, laying claim to the north of the map. And Lix is struggling to do anything about it. Great use of the Mangonels. He's even bringing in some Scorpions now as well. You know, for good measure. And it is looking like it's going in Max's favor now. 53 kills, 34 losses. Lix has kept his TC alive, but he spent a lot of resources in repairing it. Max is now finally getting Sanctity. You live and you learn. He's not going to be tanking Mangonel. Well, he will be tanking Mangonel shots now. But once again, this is another one of those games where Max has this map control. He's making a push from a very strange angle. But it's working very, very well for him right now, as he is getting ahead in economy now as well, adding an extra TC. And Lix is now focused entirely on defending this, while simultaneously losing quite a large area of his own economy to this aggression. Conversions looking to come through for Max right now. He's actually converting the pikes. It's so hard to tell how many conversions are actually popping off, but it looks like he is just dominating all of these engagements right now. And the problem is for Lix, every time he engages here and loses, he has to go back and regroup more units together, and he just cannot seem to get enough units in the mix here. Max with a good number of Scorpions at the back as well, really meaning that, you know, can't go pikemen anymore. I'm really enjoying this from Max. This is really nice. The Scorpions are something you don't see every day, and certainly very enjoyable to see. Going for the TC with the Scorpions there as well. Probably not really worth attacking it with the Scorpions, to be honest, but what can Lix do at the moment? Look at that wood line. Jeez Louise, that is a mess. But I'll tell you what, this is only a wood line he's got access to right now, so he can like it or he can lump it. Lix sniping off some of this siege, little by little. Max not paying 100% attention to his siege, it seems. But there you go, redemption. Look at the RNG for Max. All I heard was what, and then bam, the mangonel's converted. What a looker. What a looker. Immediately converting the knight as well. How is he getting these conversions so quickly? Is he secretly the Spanish? Does he secretly have Inquisition? That is crazy. Max really going to town on this TC, and Lix cannot hold it forever. The villagers being ejected, the town center will fall. And I think that TC marks the fall of not just this area of the map, but of Lix as a whole. I don't see what he can field against this now. He's trying some kind of counterattack in the middle of the map, but man, Max has thrown down 4 stables, and he's just going to town now with night production. Iron castings coming in for the +2, and Lix is like, God damn, get me some wood. Oh dear, this is GG for Lix. It has to be. He's losing so many villagers. And Max has got a clean and easy path into Lix's base to get back on that wood line on the north side as well. Lix is TC here, idle. His farms are idle. Lix is falling apart at the seams as Max looks set to claim his 2nd point in this series and equalize out at 2-2. If you start converting a building and then quickly switch to a unit, you will nearly instantly convert the unit. Yes, MK9, that is true. I actually made a video about this a couple of years ago. It's called Monkey Business or Monkeying Around or something like that. You can find it on my YouTube channel. It goes into detail about the mechanics of monks. But GG, well played by Max. Really well played. It did look a little bit dicey at the start, you know, the production of Lix, 3 archery ranges. Obviously, Max recognized that Lix was going to outproduce him in the early Castle Age. But Max with this sneak at the back, I mean, it's so interesting that he just comes up here. He made some elementary mistakes this game as well, like sending the villagers forward unprotected, but ultimately these guys were the real MVPs. 2 siege workshops and a monastery, pumping out siege for days, and there's just nothing that Lix could really do to stop it at that point. Not to mention the fact that behind this he was booming like doubt. 4 TCs, efficient economy, and mass knights to follow through at the end once he'd boomed his eco up. It was a very good game from Max, very enjoyable. And that means that we do get to see our 5th and final game in this best of 5. Let's come back out of this one, because I think that the